Hello, everyone, and welcome to the October 24th Product Analytics Group Sync APAC edition. As usual, I think since it's the intimate audience that we usually have in APAC, I think we can kind of skip the billboard review and just kind of do a quick little informal sync stand-up. I'm happy to start. Kind of the main things I'm trying to focus on right now are centered around monitoring and alerting. Basically, we've got some people identified that can help us out and get our metrics from. We have a path forward in terms of like getting Prometheus set up and that scraping metrics and then that pushing over to our production monitoring stack so that we can get that into Grafana so we can actually have the visibility and the alerting available that we'd need to be able to have that level of observability. But I'm trying to get that finished, trying to finish getting that set up so then I can work with someone from reliability to actually get the metrics pushed over. At the same time, I'm also trying to work on really concretely organizing into epics what is necessary for the infrastructure work that has to be done for beta as well as GA, so that we can just look at a similar to how James had put together this customer-facing release topic to kind of capture all of that, kind of also assimilate that into the epics to make it very clear, like here's what we have to do to logistically ship all of this stuff, given that we've made this distinction between the feature work that we're doing and what remains of the beta and GA. So yeah, that's my focus for really this week, but especially today. But yeah, who wants to go next?
I can go next. I guess for me, the thing that's merged that's worth pointing out is the first of the usage quota issues. So it's just the feature flag in an empty app shell and tab. So there's not much there now, but it's sort of the first piece of the puzzle. The next one, which adds the first table of usage data is in review, got some good feedback while I was away, so I'll be looking at that today and progressing that. The only other thing I've got on my plate is the onboarding documentation, which I have just kind of mentally put on hold while I was away, so I'll be picking that back up. I've got a call with Lorena later tonight to go over some things. Yeah, that's me.
On the topic of usage code, I know that you had a backend issue in terms of there's a little bit more that's needed there. Is someone currently assigned to that? Like, I guess, is that blocking you currently in terms of progressing further with usage quota, or like, do we need to reprioritize potentially one of the backend engineers to do it sooner rather than later?
No, not blocked. I've had a comment thread with Max going on one of the issues, just chatting about it, and he's got a suggestion of reusing the existing GraphQL endpoint, just in a way that will work with the MVC. So I'll probably give that a go first.
Awesome, cool. Yeah, if you find that we do need to reprioritize it, let me know. I just wanted to check, especially since Max is the only available backend engineer, given that Halil's out on PTO. So I just wanted to double check with you.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on my side for the milestone, I don't really have anything. Keeping an eye on things as they flow through, checking them off in the 16.6 planning issue. Otherwise, working on the latest blog about product analytics, the customizable dashboard direction page, hoping to get that merged before too long here, general updates. And then we had a great Think Big, Think Small session this morning. Looking forward to doing it again with the APAC crowd next week. I'm going to invite more folks from around analyze the stage and section, I guess, to get some more viewpoints there on that. So, oh, and I'll get you briefed on that, what we did and what we're going to do in a little bit. Dennis, I think you have the first agenda item after review the billboard.
Yeah, just kind of people should have been getting notifications about this. You might have seen it here and there about talent assessment, things like that. You should have been pinged already to kind of do your self-assessment on Workday. I have gotten notifications that some have completed it already, so thanks for those who've got it done. They are due by end of the 26th Pacific time, I think is usually how we do things. So if you haven't done it yet, start thinking about it. It's not required, but it is all, of course, very useful, especially leading into conversations about talent assessment in general. And just, kind of, since it hasn't been that long since we've done mid-year reviews, which is more of an informal thing in terms of the talent assessment, this is the formal performance review. This does have, this does affect how, as I'm kind of copy pasted there, this does affect your performance factor, which is a indicator for how your compensation is reviewed as well. So that is a very documentation way to say it's very important. You should take it very seriously. But but yeah, definitely take a look at that. I also had one more topic. Just wanted to kind of talk about, we had this meeting with more people in the APAC/Americas region once before. I don't mind attending these. I think it's good to just have, the three of us and we can chat about with whatever we need to. I just kind of want to do a quick check to make sure, are we still getting value out of this? Do we need to figure out something else? Do we have this meeting more often, less often? One thing I will say is like, basically I check, we have the stand up, but then I meet up with Elvin afterward the following day, and there's a little bit less to catch up on. So, just curious to what you two think in terms of the effectiveness of this meeting, and if we're still happy with it or if we want to do something different. It's worth mentioning that we do have a new product designer joining who is in the same time zone area that this meeting runs at. But I'm sure it will come up at some point where we have the PM/UX weekly, and then we also have the group sync. So when is it appropriate to have those? But at the same time, now that I'm thinking about it, that PM/UX weekly is not at a time where Elwin can join easily. So maybe that's why this might be
Yeah, we're gonna scrap the PM/UX weekly once we get the new designer on as well.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, just kind of wanted to open up to you two. I'm all in favor of having meetings if we find them valuable, but if we're not feeling that way, then let's figure out what we can do to make them more valuable.
Yeah, likewise from my perspective, I'm happy to keep going with these. It's nice to see your faces. But also if it is just a status update, I'm totally fine moving that async. Rob and Jan usually do a pretty good job of providing my updates in the other time zone slot.
Yeah.
Or we could have these meetings on demand as needed potentially. We'll just book something in if there is something to chat about. Yeah, I'm pretty flexible.
Why don't we I was gonna say, why don't we have one more once we get the new product designer in?
Sure.
But then we would have a meeting and then just cancel it potentially with them. So yeah, I'm good with making these async, and then we can do on demand or ad hoc as we need to. Works for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we can kind of follow the same rules we have with other meetings too. Is if there's nothing on the agenda beyond just let's do a quick stand up, then we can cancel it. If there's something that we feel like we want to discuss, and go for it. Because otherwise, I just don't want it to be like here's a stand up. Dennis reads through some announcements, which could be read only, and then that's the meeting. So, but if we're happy to keep having it, then it's all good. But yeah, let's see how it goes another time, and then if based on how things go there, we can figure out if we just want to put something in the agenda, or we can cancel it ad hoc.
Sounds good.
Cool. All right. Well, there's nothing else for show and tell or any final topics. So anything else that anyone would like to bring up? Otherwise, we can call it.
For me.
All right. Well, thanks for accommodating my lateness, and have a good rest of your Wednesdays or Tuesdays, and have a good rest of your week.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.